Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Patricia McManus, a lecturer in literature at the University of Brighton, and I'm speaking here this evening as a member of BRICUP. That's the British Committee for the Universities of Palestine. For those who don't know it, BRICUP, you can easily find it online. I'm speaking on behalf both of BRICUP but also of BRISMES. That's the British Society for Middle Eastern Studies. And it was BRISME campaigns alongside BRICUP are the organisers of the meeting this evening and also of the campaign that this meeting launches. Very, very briefly, I want to thank our colleagues here in UCU at UCL. I'm in UK higher education about 25 years now, and I have never known our campuses so silent about what's going on in Palestine. I have never seen the absence, the paralysis of people, and the high levels of fear around speaking as well, all of which stands in stark distinction to the militancy and the energy and the public nature of support for Palestine or Palestinian solidarity outside our campuses. So we should note that it took some effort for UCU at UCL to ensure that this meeting was allowed and that this meeting was supported despite some pushback. Now, this evening's event is not a one-off meeting. It is the launch of a national campaign. The campaign itself is a campaign to defend the right of staff and students to advocate for Palestinian liberation on campuses, to defend the right of Palestinian staff and students to express their determination and their right to explain both the current circumstances and the history of their anti-colonial struggle. It's also a campaign to defend the right of academic staff, of researchers, teachers and students from any and all interference in their scholarly work in the area of Middle East studies, should there be any attempt to restrict that academic freedom. So the most important part of this campaign isn't what happens this evening, though that's important, but it's what's going to happen in the weeks and months to come, as this campaign is the beginning, this evening is the beginning of a campaign which should see us hosting meetings like this one on campuses up and down the length of England, Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland. Now, as Saladin already said, the most important thing you can do this evening is stay until the end, where we're going to discuss the logistics of holding those types of meetings in your own universities, on your own campuses. But I just wanted to respond very, very quickly to anybody who might have a question. Is there any need for such a campaign? And I think some of the appalling facts do speak for themselves. So I'm just going to name a few. I'm going to draw your attention to the visiting professors, of whom there have been too many to name, who have been disinvited from distinguished lecture series because of their prior criticism of his Israeli actions in their scholarly work. I'm also going to draw your attention to the staff and to the students subjected to disciplinary investigations and sometimes suspended because of malicious accusations of anti-Semitism. I'm going to draw your attention to Campus Palestine solidarity events which have been cancelled because of the concerns of staff and students who might support Israel. I'm also going to draw your attention, and finally, to the recent report by BRISMES and the European Legal Support Centre, or ELSC, on the use of the IHRA definition in UK universities. And that report itself, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go and have a look at it. It demonstrates in full and chilling detail the way in which conversations, debate and discussion about Palestine and Israel have been suppressed on British campuses. So there can be little doubt about the need for such a campaign as the one we launched this evening. The idea that as academic staff we would or we could, in all conscience, sit out a genocidal attempt to extirpate a people and a culture with our lips sealed and our campuses silent is surely impossible. That the idea that there could be business as usual with the institutions of a state that is engaged before our very eyes, not only in murderous military terror, so as to expel again, but also an attempt to erase history is surely abhorrent. So I beg you, do please stay until the end of the session and we'll figure out what we can do about it after this evening. Thank you.